The girl who watched from the window. From a window, a child watched as others grew, played, and moved away. In many ways, this is a sad story of a child who cries and cries but yet longs for friends and happiness. To her a tear is just a tear, for each tear a person she had watched grow and move away, would be replaced by another. Soon she didn't cry anymore. She learned what loss and regret was at a very early age. She learned the world would move on with or without her watching from the old wooden window pane. A window pane marked with pencil marks for each of the people she wished she could have been friends with, and rings from drinks that would set on the once snow-white finishes of the window. Once she had a flower, who would watch the people move and dot the roads like ants or honeybees, working, living and playing. Each of the many things she wished that she could do, the things that she hoped she could do. But, life as the people outside her window called it was a cruel item in the collector's bag. It was a cruel invention of the same thing that made her watch. Outside her window grew a walnut tree, and as the nuts would fall they would bounce along the moss-covered ground, bounce as the yellow ball the boys across the street would play with when it wasn't raining or snowing. The weather was another cruel invention, she would say to herself. Now that the seasons had taken away her flower, it also takes away the people she watches. They hide in their houses away from the rain and the snow, only to step out when needed, not showing their faces, the faces that reminded her that she was human, or at least thought she was. A slave to her imagination, she would dream of faraway places her father used to talk about. Her father called her a delicate flower, one that must grow away from others. Things would change if she stepped outside the house, beyond that window. Warnings were another cruel invention. Warnings are the meat to the fears of life, the cornerstones to questions and delight. Each of us wished for something, and each thing we wished for came with a warning and a question. Everyone she watched, she knew they asked themselves the same question: should I do whatever it is I dream? Maybe not in the words, but there are various ways to ask the same question. There is the various way to do the things in which you dream. This way of thinking compelled her to open the window and speak to the boy in the yellow raincoat. He was different from the rest. They would hide from the dripping wetness and he would play and dance in the forming puddles of dreams. This was his world, a different world from the others, and she wished to be a part of it, even if it was just a voice from a window. Sometimes when you yell from a window, a voice will answer.